So what caught my attention here is when I walked in the door, my wife and I were both, I guess we're not extroverts, we're introverts. And the warmth and the friendliness of the congregation to meet us. And there was a particular parishioner in person who pulled us aside and just talked to us like we're normal people, didn't, impose anything on us, didn't judge us. And that made us feel very comfortable to keep coming back. It was after that we just made our decision. I think it was probably 2 visits and we were fully committed to coming to the church. So the outreach, serving in community, and sharing the gospel, that's very good ministries because that gets us off of the campus into the community. I think we need to be comfortable going out into the community to reach the community members. And once they see that we're just normal people, that's what will bring them onto campus to realize, hey, they're not a special group, they're not a special club, they're just like me and you. So I think those outreach ministries, the backpacks, the homeless, Christmas gifts for the underprivileged kids, I think those are good to just getting out into the communities to show our willing to serve. I would think flourish means to growing, be excited, be expanding, and I don't necessarily think it means large. I think maybe it's just a core group of people who are really passionate about what they believe in and what they do. And hopefully those core believers do cause flourish for the community to grow, the church to grow. But I think ultimately it's definitely getting a solid core of strong believers to push the message of the church forward, whether it's locally within our church or out into the community. My wife and I decided that one of us would stay home to raise our kid. My wife stayed home. We were tithing, and it was about that time I'd finished financial peace with my wife, and we fully committed to tithing to the church. And when you tithe, you're giving in faith. You're giving to the church, and you've got faith that they're in communication with God, and they've got the direction on where to go with your assets. So I went down to basically 50% of my income when my wife stayed home. We were both making the same amount of money, and I started tithing and giving faithfully, and I can honestly say it was a very scary time going down to one income. I had to make a lot of decisions. Like I drove a car for almost 20 years because I couldn't afford a new car. I drove it for the last 5 without air conditioning or electric windows that went down. But you know what? I had a job where if I had to go out during the day, they provided me with an air conditioning vehicle. There were sacrifices that had to be made, but over time I can see rewards for my faith in the giving that my wife and I did. We've become very financially stable through financial peace following the tenets there, one of those being the tithing. So the Flourish campaign, it excites me. I think there's definitely the paying down the debt, and then I think developing new leaders is a good program to have because I think you need true faith-based leaders if you're going to be in the church. And I think by starting our own leadership program, we have the ability to make sure that everyone's Christ-centered and Bible-centered in their leadership roles. Those 2 parts of the campaign really excite me.